Well, hello everybody. I am Louise Eddington. I am the Cosmic Owl of Cosmic Owl Astrology, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell so that you get notified when I upload new videos. Today I am going to re-look at Bernie Sanders' chart. It's also been suggested that I look at Tom Steyer's, so I will look at his next. Don't know if that'll be today. But anyway, see, I'm going to share my screen. This time I am going to look at a closer look at Bernie. I kind of looked at him before and noticed that the Saturn-Pluto square was exactly squaring his Mars-Venus opposition. So this is Bernie Sanders' chart on the outside, but this time I'm also going to look at it with the USA chart. And I'm going to look at election day for it as well, with what's happening then. And just a few indicators, not really a prediction, but I do think there are some good things going on. And Bernie Sanders is undoubtedly gaining momentum, not only in the polls. I know Iowa's a shit show, so I'm not going to talk about that, but either way, it's probably a tie, or Bernie won, or Pete won narrowly. It's still, nobody knows the result yet. But we have New Hampshire on Monday, and Bernie's generally leading in the polls, so fingers crossed, because you know he's my candidate. But anyway, maybe I should look at his chart for Monday too, but no, I've prepared this one, so I will look at it with the USA chart. So we don't have a time for Bernie. So his moon's probably a little bit off, but laying it over the USA's chart, using the Sibley chart, we can look at what connections he has with the USA chart. And this is the most commonly used USA chart. So the first thing jumps out is Mercury is right at the top there on in Libra, on the midheaven, which is kind of the most public space. It's like, and in Libra, speaking for peace and love and all the things Bernie talks about. And Libra is about not me, us. So to my mind, that's good. Then Venus is, Bernie's Venus is on Juno. Juno is in mundane astrology more, is the rights of the oppressed and women and stuff, and Bernie's policies are very good on that. Vesta is close to Saturn, and so focus, commitment, at sacred devotion, that feels good to me too. Or other things, we have Bernie's North Node, which is his karmic potential, his future. And in Virgo, it's to be of service. And his North Node is on the USA's Neptune in Virgo. Again, kind of being of this spiritual service, bringing this agape love down to earth in a practical way. And again, his message of not me, us, or will you fight for somebody that you don't know? All these things really resonate with these connections. So that's a start. Then I look at the USA's North Node, which is the USA's karmic potential, which is Leo, kind of king, ruler, you know, taking the stage, the world stage. And Bernie's Pluto is sitting on the North Node. That's a very karmic connection. And Bernie's Chiron is nearby in Leo as well. Is he the one to bring transformation and healing to take the USA into the future? Who knows? It's a good connection. Then we also have Bernie Sanders' Jupiter in Gemini. Mercury ruled Gemini is on the USA's Mars, and it's in the 7th house in the Sibley chart, which is often to do with politics because it's very Libra, the healthy side of politics. Gemini, kind of the orator, the teacher, and the planner who's going to fight for people he doesn't know in a big way in the 7th house. So I like that too. I'm not going to go through every connection, I don't think. I mean, Hygeia is on the Uranus, and Hygeia is healing. So that's kind of radical healing, as well as adding the Chiron, the healing, the key to healing up here, and Pluto, the transformer. I want to come down to here as well. Bernie Sanders' Mars-Venus opposition, and probably his moon. We're not sure of the moon exactly because of time, but we don't have a birth time. I'm using the 4 p.m. time that some people have used. Some people have said 12:30, which would put the moon even closer, are on the USA's Chiron. And Mars-Venus opposition is kind of very about bringing the opposites together, bringing, you know, the fighting kind of energy and the healing kind of energy. And both his Mars and Libra are in their own signs, in their signs of rulership. And remembering that transiting Pluto and Saturn was squaring all this, bringing that change. Oh, incidentally, Leo is ruled by the heart as well, and we know that Bernie had this heart attack, which he's really recovered from. Having stents, he's got more power than ever. Anyway, I think that's good too. So now I'm going to bring in election day. On election day, I'm going to come down to here. Mars will be retrograde on election day. Mars is going retrograde. I can't find my okay, here we go. Mars goes retrograde on September the 9th at 28 degrees of Aries, and it will station direct on November the 14th at 15 Aries. So to come back to here, we can see that Mars is already at 15 Aries. The election is only 11 days away from Mars stationing direct. Mars, why is that important? Because it's not actually sitting on Bernie's Mars or on anything. It does have a wide sextile aspect to his Jupiter. It is in conjunct his sun exactly, the Mars station, which is a very break-free aspect, so that's potentially good. But why it's really relevant is that Bernie Sanders was born with Mars retrograde, and Mars retrograde is quite rare really to be born with. It doesn't go retrograde all the time. And well, I mean, obviously a lot of people have it because a lot of people are born at the same time, but a lot of politicians do not have it. So he's in alignment with Mars retrograde. So I kind of think that's very crucial as well. Transiting Chiron will be on Bernie Sanders' Eris at the time. Remember, healing, shaking tables, shaking things up. All right. Incidentally, this Mars will be squaring the USA's sun. And so that's in a sextile to Bernie's sun. So these are all nice, I believe. Transiting Eris is activating both Chiron and Bernie Sanders opposition, Venus-Mars opposition, as well as still being in square to Pluto that transforms. But now we have Jupiter coming in. Jupiter's coming in to square Bernie Sanders, Venus-Mars opposition. And Venus will also be trine to Bernie's north node. Pluto will be trine to Bernie's north node. So that's amazing. And that's on that Neptune. So I actually really like these connections. Of course, I am obviously really aware that I have bias. That would be wrong of me to say I don't. But I hope you find these connections interesting, and I just really like them. I think they're really positive. You know, the sun on election day is at 11 Scorpio, So let's look at some of those. No major connections with that really, with Bernie, except a nice square to his Chiron in Leo. That is the key to healing. So I don't know. I like it, and we'll see. But I still have the other candidates to look at yet, clearly. So I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell, because I'm going to do all the other candidates that are at the top of the pile.